Hey guys, it's ForeverElite here. Welcome back to another Story Saturday. Now guys, today is a bit more of an interesting story because it actually did happen this summer. Yes, oh my gosh, it's not a story from his childhood. Wait, does that mean he actually somewhat has a life outside of Mindplex and YouTube? And this is not true. He's a level 75 Titan tryhard. We all know that. Yeah, no, this is obviously fake. Yes, actually, believe it or not, I do have a life outside of this, and this story is actually going to be taking place this summer. Now, I was actually at camp, and as you guys all know, I was at camp. I made videos on it and whatnot, but this story did actually happen at camp, so it's even more interesting. So here I am, I'm at camp. We actually are at camp for about 5 weeks, and since it's so long, we actually stay in big tents. Now these tents are, as I said, meant for long-term times, so they're pretty cozy. I mean, they're nothing like too special, but they have gravel floors and bunk beds, and basically we just sleep in sleeping bags. So it's nothing really that special. It's more just like military-style tents, so it's enough to do the job and protect you from rain and stuff, but other than that, it's not too fancy. So I do have a sleeping bag, and on top of that sleeping bag is a green blanket. Now this blanket will come in handy later in the story, so you guys will just have to wait in intense anticipation for that. Now this tent is actually located on the side of a mountain in the forest. So because we're in the forest, we sleep outdoors, and let's just say a lot of bugs come in. So I mean, it's pretty cold out, and sometimes we'll have like bugs hiding in our like tent, somewhere around our tent for warmth and stuff. And this is about the time when big bees tend to come out, and it's like, I don't even know what the deal is with the bees, but they tend to like always come around at the worst times, and I have to say they always are just like little stupid annoying things. But anyway, you can kind of see where this is going. So every morning at camp, we actually do wake up pretty early. We wake up around 5 a.m. or so, and out of the 30 days that I was there at camp, I wake up in a very, very different way than normal on this one morning. So I wake up as normal, feeling sad that I can't sleep in, and all of a sudden, I feel something that's a little bit strange. So down by my feet, there's actually a small vibration. Now, I don't exactly know what this is, and I'm trying not to think of the worst case scenario, but it probably is the worst case scenario. So it continues to come up higher and higher in my sleeping bag, and at this point, I'm just like, oh man, here we go. So I slowly lift up my blanket and see this huge freaking bee. Now this bee was probably the size of my thumb, and I'm pretty sure my heart skipped a beat at this point because I just realized that there's a freaking bee that's sharing the same sleeping space as me, and I didn't even know it. And this little bee is probably just trying to like take a little cozy nap because it's so cold outside and my sleeping bag is just too warm. Now, I don't know, it was just not something I was really expecting to see, and so I very carefully got out of my bunk. I was actually on the top of the bunk, so I very carefully got out of my bunk, try not to wake up my bunkmate, and basically this bee freaks out and starts following me around the tent. And so I start to have a little 1v1 with this bumblebee, and I'm just like, alright, yeah bro, step up, you got this, yeah, fight me lad, fight me, you got nothing man. And basically I grab my notebook and he's flying around freaking out, and I'm trying to like swat at him. I'm like taking all these swings, and I'm just like trying to fight him, and this bee is like taking some dives at me. He's like really trying to destroy me, and I'm trying to destroy him. So I'm struggling to kill him. I keep trying to swing at him. I'm not quite getting him, and I keep trying to like just swing at him and try to get a good landing hit on him, just knock him out of the way. So at this point, my counselors are waking up, and they're just kind of sitting there watching me. I had 2 counselors in my tent, and they're just sitting there in their bunks just staring at me, basically wildly swinging at the air because there's a stupid bee, and they're just like sitting there. And eventually, all the racket and noise of fighting a bumblebee tends to wake up an entire tent. So my entire tent is all sitting up in their bunks just watching me. Up at 5 a.m., I'm 1v1ing a stupid bumblebee on a gravel floor with just a pair of basketball shorts on. So it's not necessarily the thing that people tend to wake up and be like, you know, this is pretty normal. Just another guy. He's half naked fighting a bumblebee and 5 a.m. in the morning on a gravel floor with a notebook. But, you know, I guess to each their own. So finally the bee lands, and I just kind of like whop him with my notebook, and he just like falls over and dies instantly. And so I was like, okay, yeah, that's right. I'm the bee slayer. Any bees that ever come into this tent, they're just going to get a nice little whop with my notebook. And so yeah, I kind of just wrecked him, and he basically nosedived to the floor, and I was able to brush him off to the side of the tent where he stayed for the rest of the summer. So, I mean, And I think I was pretty well accomplished here. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Matthias the Bee Slayer. Yeah, that's fine. That's just call me, guys, if you ever need any bees taken care of, because that's me. I'm just gonna go and hit them with a notebook. So yeah, guys, that is the time I had a 1v1 with a stupid bee at 5 a.m. in the morning and on the side of a mountain in a tent. Now, it's not too nice to just see that happen, you know, just be like, oh, yeah, there's a bee that's the size of my thumb that's slowly trying to come and end all my life decisions in one little sting, yeah. Which is actually funny because a few weeks before this actually happened, one of my other counselors, she was in her tent. Obviously girls and boys are separated as far as tents and camps go, but she told us a story about how she was getting ready and she sat down on her bunk and she sat down directly on a bee, and that bee did not appreciate it, and she was kind of in pain for the rest of the day. So rip in peace. So yeah, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye, guys.